Me and yourself.
All right, now I'm fine.
Okay.
What
You
about
sure,
that?
Garth?
What about that do yourself a favor part?
Chris, are you sure you're sitting comfortably?
Fucking.
Are you sure about
Anyway, if everybody is sitting comfortably, then do me and yourselves a favor and suspend disbelief, and we shall hop back into the land of Trymira.
that?
I can't do that, but I'll still have fun.
Woo!
Woo! Yay, hype train. Whoop whoop. Whoop whoop.
So when we last left off, our group of adventurers had begun to make their way across the landscape of Trymir with the intent of ending up in Yanwei in order to meet Cillian, where they had arranged to come up with some form of plan against the police of magic within this region. After a swift run-in with said police, the group somehow found themselves in the elven town of Siorsa.
What a bunch of a-holes. Just can't believe you've done this.
For a series of investigations in Siorsa, they found out that in order to make their way to Yanwei, they must do Adeline a favor by means of retrieving something from a tree and retrieving something from the now apparently cleric known as Seldor. Upon leaving their investigations and returning to Adeline's house, they found her severely injured, shock tossed, meeting a very hostile mercenary which they'd taken to calling Spit.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Where someone almost died.
Cool team spirit.
After leaving Adeline in Spit's apparently capable hands, the group ventured out, found a bakery, had some breakfast, and then made their way,
Oh yeah, rock cakes.
towards the tree on the edge of town. A little investigation into the tree led the paladin Toriel to fall into a hole, into some form of bracken tree-like cavern underneath the tree. Tiffany, kind of not wanting to get too close to it, being wary of the tree's power, decides to go and employ Spit, and we now find them on their way back to said tree.
Are we starting with me?
We are, but I fucked up the music.
Oh yeah, music. Let's turn that out again.
So,
Hey.
as you make your way back towards the fountain, towards the center of town, in order to make your way to the tree, Spit is kind of lagging behind you, Tiffany. A little cautious as to you, but, intent on fulfilling this haphazardly created contract. As you exit the overgrown part of town, you see a figure in the distance kind of step out into the shadows, and you hear a few things fly past your head. You see, as you turn around to gaze at what that was, you see 3 arrows in a perfect line, just sort of cutting you off from Spit.
I mean, I could walk over them.
Shit goes down already.
What was that? I
So kind of
look around.
looks up and kind of groans, like, "Ugh, not now."
Is this in the middle of town as well?
It's not in the middle of town, it's kind of down a street between Adeline's house and the bakery.
Right, okay. I'm looking around to see if I can see anything.
Make a perception check.
16, I think. Yes, 16.
16. So the figure which you saw walk across through the shadows is kind of like a branch that's arcing over the path, and that's the shadow it used. Actually quite see what it was, or pick out if it was a person, if it was an animal, creature of some sort. However, looking up on top of that branch, there's a woman sitting with her legs crossed. She has a bow drawn in her hand. Another arrow is knocked. Wearing brownish leather armor with leaf sort of lapels coming down the braces. The chest piece also covered in leaves, going up to the neck, quite tight, wraps around. It's almost scaled, and above that there's blue, darkish flesh. Long black hair tied up in a tight bun. These large yellowish eyes, which you notice is to be a drow, basically a dark elf. She kind of just has her bow knocked and she's just looking at you.
I call up, hello! You seem to have dropped something.
Yeah, she just stares at you. Well, she's not staring at you, she's kind of staring past you. And upon like a close inspection, you kind of notice that her gaze is locked on Spit. And Spit now you notice is kind of partially in the shadows, but also has her gaze fixed on the drow in the tree.
Spit, what's going on?
Let's just say I owe a few people some money.
Oh, I just gave you 200.
Spit glares at you, just like just anger, just looks at you, just be quiet.
Do you have an ability that I could use? One second. I ask her, do they want to fight you, or can you know, talk it out?
Any talking I do, I prefer to do with my blades. However, I don't think this is a fight we should get ourselves into.
Yeah, I want to help my friends first.
She kind of looks about the path where you guys are, and she tugs at your cloak. And she begins to take off down a path that's about 5 feet back from where you are.
She's going.
She's running.
Oh, bye bye.
Are you what are you doing?
Who's running with Spit?
Spit is run down this alleyway. She's bolted.
I mean, this guy's not after me.
As Spit leaves, the drow on the tree stands up.
Oh dear.
What are you doing, Tiffany? Are you following Spit? It's just gonna stay there? What's happening?
I have no idea. I mean, they're not going to attack me, are they?
So as you kind of just stand there, a little gormless in the street, the drow on the tree jumps off. Another drow sweeps out from the shadow. This one you can see has more swords than anyone would ever need.
Okay.
She has about 13 swords, just in her sides, on her belt, tied around her back, attached to her back. One of them sort of strapped around her leg.
Actual swords?
And they both just... Actual swords, full-length swords.
13? Okay.
She's a little bigger than the other drow. Not too tall, though, about 6 foot, maybe. And this one just takes off. like a rocket slams into you, knocks you out of the way, and takes off down the alleyway, down the spit. The other drow just kind of casually walks and looks at you as she walks past and continues off down the alleyway.
I walk towards the black tree.
Okay. Tiffany, kind of confused about what's just happened, continues to make her way over towards the tree.
I'm not getting involved in the fight. Can I pick up any rocks on the way there?
Yeah.
It's like some few rocks, not too heavy though.
My keen
So, yeah.
observation saw that this map is different than last time.
So Tiffany, as you're walking towards the black tree, you pick up a few rocks here and there, just a few pebbles around hand size. Easy enough fit in your backpack.
But why do we need rocks?
I need rocks.
Okay.
So,
I'm curious.
Garth and Toriel,
Magic!
currently in a hole. In front of you stands a viney, interlaced net of plant life. She previously attacked you as you had broken one of the bands which kind of hold this lattice together.
Yeah, one out of how many?
Far too many to count.
Is there a way to, well, just squeeze ourselves through there? Or just make
you
enough
could-
way to actually, well, crawl through?
Do you want to try?
You're smaller
Yeah.
than me, so you can try.
Alright, let's do this. So, what should yeah, I'm gonna try that.
So as you kind of try to push some of these vines out of the way, they move away relatively easily. As you begin to sort of stick your head through, arm goes through, the other arm comes across, still kind of trying to stay carefully moving these vines out of the way. You get around halfway through, before the thorns seem to go taut. All of the tension, all of the slack that you had on these vines kind of disappears, apart from parts where your body is still through. And thorns jut out from each of these vines. That's going to go ahead and be... Ooh, 3 points of piercing damage.
Alright.
And you're currently halfway through this gate. Around about your waist.
Can I
is
push him?
through this gate? You can push him, yeah.
I want to push him.
The thorns are still out, technically,
Oh.
like digging into his.
Well, maybe
midsection.
not push him then.
Right. Are we gonna resolve that? Not really. And now ripping me into pieces.
Meantime, I just slash at it with my fire sword.
Go ahead, make an attack roll.
Hope that you don't burn me. Well. Alright, seeing this fire sword coming to kinda towards me, I try to get
16.
backward. Try to pull myself out of this mess.
Okay, 1% attack. Toriel, what do you?
16.
What's that? 16.
Of course.
Your sword hits into these vines. You doing what type of damage?
It's fire damage.
Fire damage. Okay. As your sword kind of passes effortlessly past these, kind of emulating each one, it hits as it cleaves through this lattice. You notice that the vines kind of go more tight than they were, and then lax, and a large portion of this gate seems to just slack in place, and Garth, you kind of drop to the floor.
Alright, and I can move the rest
So we can go through
into-
now?
It's still blocking your path, but the vines aren't as tight as they were. They're kind of like hanging now in this like pathway in
Can
front.
Garth get the rest through?
Yeah.
Do you want to try?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, getting stuck is the worst thing right now.
Go ahead and make a strength check, because
Alright, strength.
there are still thorns affixed in your side. The thorns haven't receded from said branches.
It worse. 15, yeah. Oh, wait a sec, nah, 16.
16?
16, yeah, added the wrong modifier. Yeah.
So you do manage to pull these thorns out by digging into bits of your armor, a few of them sticking into like your midsection, and you pull yourself reasonably through, and you slide out through with little effort.
Alright. Well, I brush off the dust from me and say, well, that's better worth it. Alright, well, what do I see on the other side? I guess I threw the torch through. Can I light it again, or is it still on fire?
It's still lit, yeah.
Alright, well, pick it up and see what's further down here. Alright, well, and then I search for, I don't know, well, it's silly, but is there a mechanism or anything I can do to, well...
There's this
make
purple
these-
thing over there.
Well,
I mean, I don't see anything.
yeah, but can I kind of remove the vines from the other side more easily? I mean, I'm imagining there's some kind of lever or, I don't know,
Yeah, so
steps to...
looking back, roll investigation.
Alright. Actually, alright. And I thought I'm a good investor, whatever. Investigator, whatever. Oh, 18. Good start. Probably gonna screw up when I need it
Shush,
most.
shush. When I said
Yeah.
that, I rolled 2s. Don't do that.
Alright, yeah.
So, looking on the other side of this gate, you can see that the backs of the thorns appear to come out of the wall on this side, and they kind of like interlace in and out, kind of like a shoelace, into the floor. And in the floor, there are these. They look like lilies in a way, but the petals are like closed around, and where the petals meet at the top of this closed bud is where the thorns begin to emanate from and kind of arc into the walls.
Alright, well, I pick
Yes.
one from those
One on each side.
and inspect them further.
You're trying to pull one out of the floor.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and well, I'm more curious than wise right now, so I'm gonna smell at it and well, try to figure out if I've ever seen this kind of flower before.
Well, trying to pick it up, it doesn't really budge. It seems to be rooted.
Alright.
If you want to try and pull it out, it's going to be a strength check.
Alright. Yeah, I'll do that. Come on, damn thing. 12. Yeah.
12?
Yeah.
So you kind of pull, and you notice that it comes out of the floor a bit into your hands. It raises up about a meter, half a meter off the floor.
Okay.
Seeing underneath it, there are some very thick-looking roots, which kind of prevent it from being pulled out any further. And as you do this, Toriel, you notice that the gate in front of you kind of flexes a little bit, and the vines that were taut and kind of reeling from the burn, which you sliced through them, begin to sort of unhook themselves from the wall.
So, more of an opening happens. They move back. They go away. They fall
There
to
seems
the
to be
ground.
some sort of reaction that the gate is now actually moving.
Alright.
Well, keep doing what you're doing, Garf.
There are some lilies, weird flowers here, which I think they're, well, the source of these roots, which are blocking our way. Trying to remove them. They're really stuck, goddamn.
Could I possibly reach my hand through far enough to also pull on these?
You wouldn't be close enough to these. You'd have to actually get on the other side of the gate and walk a few steps forwards to actually grab one.
Can you try and pull harder?
Alright, well, yeah, sure, I would do that. Do I do another strength test?
Yes, indeed.
Alright, nice. Another chance, another... 9, it's going downwards. So I have to let go, I guess.
Yeah, this time you pull and it kind of slips out of your hand and plops back on the floor.
Great.
It doesn't appear to have come out any more than it previously did.
I go back to slashing.
I mean, is it close enough to the wall that I could actually kind of pin it with my longsword?
So,
Be an attack roll of like 26, 28.
yeah, that hits. You slice into this again with your flaming sword. It passes effortlessly through, leaving these char marks across this gate. Again, the vines slack, but as parts that had been removing themselves from the walls begin to writhe around, it appears that whereas you thought your attacks were loosening it, it just appears to be agitating it, and these vines are now moving very rapidly in front of you, and a few of them lash out towards you, and that's going to be a 18
As an attack roll?
as an attack.
I guess that hits.
18 hits. That's going to be 4 points of piercing damage as this vine extends its way towards you, kind of curling, and as it gets towards you, flicks its way out. A couple of the thorns kind of propel themselves from the edge of it, piercing into your armor. Bits of them stick into your neck, propping in between your scales in some places.
Well, that's unpleasant.
Well, that was kind of alright. Well, she's still a bitch. Alright. What shall we do?
Did he just call me a bitch?
Nah, I said Tiff is a bitch.
Oh.
But I'm not a bitch. What's this got to do with me?
Yeah, I don't know.
At this point, you do hear that coming from the hole.
Oh, really?
I don't understand what I did wrong. So can you please stop, use me as the one side?
I just admitted that you were right about the hole, alright? And let's leave it at that.
Shout down. Told you so.
Alright.
Right, okay, so where am I just arriving at the tree now?
You're back in this field, kind of around 15 to 20 feet from the tree. And you're standing at the edge of a hole which Toriel and Garth have gone down. There's a rope attached to the tree which leads down this hole.
I mean, for real, I could venture on alone. Manuel, I don't like it.
Does
Well,
the
unless
tree
you
have an
can
entity?
Unless you can open this again with your lilies, was it? I see no other
Yeah. No, I'll give it another try. Try to pin this. Maybe I can pin this stuff somewhere. So yeah, Tiff, what are you doing?
I mean, I'm asking. Does the thought of entity, could I communicate with the tree?
You don't know. Do you have speak with plants?
I bet Medivh would have
no.
speak with plants. Remember Medivh? No?
Medivh wouldn't have speak with plants. He's a bard. Speak with plants is primarily a
The druid.
druidic.
He had speak with
Can
plants.
I try and feel a presence maybe off it?
Say again?
Can I try and feel some kind of aura from it?
Make an Arcana check, I guess.
I mean, it's pretty obvious that that shit is giving a dark mode show from itself.
Yeah, but I want to see if I can talk to her.
Talking with trees. Oh man, those elves.
20.
20. There's definitely a very strong negative aura in terms of magic coming from this tree. There also seems to be residuals of that same trace magic in the goo that is like seeping off of it and
somebody's saying goo.
darkening this field.
Rip Tiff.
Some bars for mixtape.
Oh, can you not hear?
Uh,
You're breaking up.
That's actually a freaking great idea.
We
Why not
already
just have-
had that idea.
I mean, I found a picture where someone combines the essential laser from the
Right, can you
star
hear
with
me now?
I did not understand that, nor is that the place for this.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can now.
I can hear you.
No,
can hear you,
we
but
can't.
not
Talking over me
understand.
and make it worse. Oh my god, stop talking over us. You won't be able to hear? Right. Do I know the source of this? Or can I try and find out the source of what is made of this? Maybe a history check or...
You're welcome to make a history check, but this kind of exceeds your realm of expertise. You wouldn't know much more than what you've learned in the book and what you've heard from Adeline.
Right. I've only got 26 hit points. I'm not going down there. I will die. Can I walk behind the tree, like carefully behind it, or is there sludge there?
So, around 5 feet in front of you, that's where the goo begins to kind of take over and become more prominent from the grass. And as you get closer to the tree and behind it, the goo just extends, and kind of like the field is facing where you are now, and behind it just appears to be this sea of goop and just black liquid.
And somebody's saying goo.
Right, okay, I'm not gonna go there. Can I hear them talking underneath me?
Just about. Garth is
Right.
pretty.
So I was thinking I could do a spell to maybe get them out.
Well, we're not getting out yet.
There's a
Well,
rope.
Yeah, but they might be able to get out with the rope.
So, well, you can still stand on standby. It's fine with,
Yeah, let's
In
let
general.
Garth wander onward.
yeah.
Or he can try tugging on the delete things for the one last time
Yeah,
before
that one
completely
last
giving up.
Exactly. The last try then. Then I guess I'll have to venture on alone.
Do it then.
Why?
Well,
Because I can't get through.
yeah.
You want me to try and help you get out?
Well, maybe you can also
We have
crawl.
to venture onwards, Tiffany. We have to find the thing
You
under the
don't.
tree.
You just said he was gonna go on alone.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do?
I'm just gonna sit there and wait. Maybe he screams. Then I have to like throw myself at the vines.
Alright, I'm making the strength check to see if I can do it once more. Alright, we're ready! I fall flat on my bottom. It's a natural one. Dang it.
Natural one, yeah, you pull it, but as you begin to like tug on it, you notice that it is slightly slick, with a very thin film of this black viscous liquid, and your hands just slip off and you go flying backwards.
It's no use for real. I have to venture on alone. I can try to. I reach my hand out through that wall, through a gap, and to hold her maybe one last time.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I just want a friendly handshake.
Fine.
The vines are wriggling about and such, kind of like writhing in there. They appear to
Really?
have had some kind of reaction to someone climbing through them and being cut with fire.
So you're not like a lot of us have a heartbreaking goodbye.
It's not
Here.
heartbreaking.
You can stick your hand through. It just might hurt.
Yeah, let's not
Well,
do that.
I'm doing that. I'm reaching out to you. Well, if I kind of come back in, if I don't come back
Okay.
in 20 minutes, why don't you go on without me? Tell everyone I died a happy man.
Vine's got 7 on their attack as these kind of
You-
these
And
fawns
lots
go
of
and shout
rounds.
towards you.
Well,
they kind of
whatever.
brush past your face. A couple of them just scratch here and there, but you
Well, I
intend
just
on sticking your hand through.
Yeah,
and
I
reach
just
out towards
grin.
the-
You'll be fine, Garth. So far, it's just a bunch of vines.
well, it looks like they don't want me here, and whatever that will is that severs us here, there must be something else it can throw at us. All right, off I go, and well, I'm wandering on into the mysteries of that cave.
Okay, so Garth is going to continue onwards. Tiffany, as you're standing in the field, kind of looking around, looking down the hole, trying to figure out what to do because you don't really want to enter. You hear this kind of wet, these kind of squelching footsteps coming towards you.
That noise, dude.
You turn around and it's Spit.
Hello.
Her lower half is completely drenched. She's got this really sour look on her face.
We're drenched with what?
It appears to be water.
You came, mate. Do you want me to attend home? Injured?
Just glances at you. Is this a tree?
Yeah, this is a tree. I don't think I'm gonna go down in it though. Because by the sounds of it, there's a roots, and I don't want you to get poisoned or anything like that.
Looks towards you and it looks back at the tree. She begins to look around the area. She notices the hole. She just points at it and looks at you.
Yeah, but there's a hole.
She just jumps in.
Okay.
Yeah,
My Spit.
yeah, she's
Yeah,
aggressive,
how
but she
far-
has balls.
Whereabouts? Yeah, balls can get you killed. How far away is Luke from the? Oh wait, I went in with her. Would see Luke.
Yeah, Spit probably would instantly see me, holding a torch.
Right. Can I use the fall for the hole, or is the hole enough to jump into it? I won't crush my legs.
Looking, the hole appears to be around 10 foot down. So, like,
Manageable.
yeah, you could land it without taking much pain.
What about if
The
I
only
cast
damage was because she fell down the hole.
Right, okay. So I won't need to cast Feather Fall then.
No, it'd be a waste of a spell.
Okay. I guess I'll follow Spit, but I'll hold my little owl really close to my chest so it doesn't get hurt. Wait, actually, Chen, what is the likelihood of me being able to leave my owl on the surface and it doesn't die?
About 90%.
You're in a town at the moment.
So
You
I
haven't seen any like aggressive creatures in the town. You've seen a few bits of wildlife here and there, but it's mainly like squirrels and the occasional birds and such.
It's a bird. It can take care.
I think I'm just gonna tell it to wait for me to come back out. Don't go anywhere unless the tree starts to attack it.
Okay. Al kind of looks at you with a look of understanding, and it flies off your shoulder, does a few loops in the air, and lands on a tree branch towards where you entered the field,
Right,
away
okay.
from the kind of blackened liquid and such. Just watches you.
Away from the tree. I guess I'll jump in after Spit. There's
You
Luke
kind of
there when I jump in.
look down. You jump in. Spit kind of jumps up away as you jump down.
Hello. Is it dark for us as well, or can we see?
I mean, I am holding a torch and a sword, which
Yeah, but
both
you could
illuminates
fight
the thing
for it.
relatively well.
From what you can see on the map, all of that you can see apart from where Garth is. That bit's a little hard for you to see, but you can see that there is a chamber beyond.
I'll cautiously walk alongside Spit towards where Luke is.
Spit doesn't move. She's just watching this whole thing. At this point, she's kind of crossed her arms. She's leaning up against one of the walls.
Quite sure Spit, she might die. I call over to Luke, Toriel, and ask what's going on.
We've met a bunch of, well, for me at least, unpassable vines. Garth got through, but he can't seem to get it open from the other side, and when I attack them, they just get stronger now.
Well, I guess we shouldn't mess with the tree anymore.
Well,
Because
we came here to do one thing, and leaving before we have done it is kind of pointless.
and 2 people dead is not worth it.
Well, we're not dead yet, so and I'm pretty sure Garth can take care of himself.
Chen,
Yes.
I've got an ability called Mold Earth. Will that affect the vines in any way? Would it move them out of the way, or is it just for the ground? It's got no description to it, it just says Mold Earth.
Yeah, I don't believe mold earth affects plant life. You choose a portion of dirt or stone that you can see within range that fits in a 5-foot cube, and you can manipulate it in one of the following ways. If it's loose earth, you can excavate it. You can cause it to make shapes or letters or words, or you can make difficult terrain normal terrain.
But that wouldn't apply to this.
You wouldn't be able to affect the vines, no. And the walls and floor of this place, and even towards where Toriel and Garth are, they all appear to be made from kind of like dead wood.
Right. Okay, never mind. It was a thought. Are you just sitting here, Toriel? You're not bothering to go in, or...
I mean, what? Should we just leave? Wait upstairs?
we can.
I feel more like waiting here.
I don't feel safe down here, though.
Who's going
So why am I here again?
I thought I would need you to come and get them out. But I guess not.
I'll take
I mean,
that
you
to
Okay. You can't leave just yet. We're not all out. Unless you want to body slam those vines or something.
Looks down the hallway, walks up to him. He's like kind of looking around. She pulls this blade out from underneath her cloak, and the little light that's down here, coming from Toriel's blade, it seems to snake its way down the blade, but follow very strict lines. And she points it towards the vines, and You see her arm move for a second, and then she sheaves her sword.
And then what?
Doing nothing. She sheaves her sword. She just kind of looks at you, Toriel. Looks back at you, Tiffany. Crosses her arms, leans back up against the wall.
So, what was the point of that?
Are you asking her?
Yes.
Try now.
Ice
What?
slash. No, actually,
All
first.
the vines fall.
Well, damn.
Damn, girl.
Impressive. What did you do?
She's kind of just looking off into the cavern ahead of you.
Oh, let me join him. What's on my own?
Well, Garth, suppose you're not on this glorious dirt adventure on your own after all.
I'm moving forward. Don't let me just be there on my own.
I thought I just went on in a adventurous thrill of danger and excitement.
Yeah, we just go on.
Alright, cool. You guys walk further into this chamber. Spit kind of following you, behind you. She's keeping up a
Spit has a marker now. Nice.
reasonable distance. Uh, Illuminating this chamber. Walls of from what you've seen so far in this cavern, just appears to be kind of like bands of wood which wrap in and out of the walls. There doesn't appear to be an end to this wood; it just kind of interlocks itself. But as you approach this chamber, on the wall there's kind of indentation of where these vines go, and as they do, some of them seem to form a very large face. Very deep set features, sunken eyes,
Is that square the face?
closed eyes. Yes, supposed to represent the face.
Ah, you're here. Look at that face. Reminds me of somebody.
Who?
Well,
Does the face speak?
At the
Yes.
moment, it's just got its eyes closed.
Well,
And 1 second. I've got a cantrip which might help us. It's called message. And something I point to. Here's my message telepathy, and only the target can hear it. So, is it able to receive messages? Yeah, can it receive a message? Rip.
Towards a creature.
Yeah. Well, that's what it says. You point your finger towards a creature within range, whisper a message to the target. Is it not a creature?
Your spell doesn't appear to have any effect.
well, I'll touch the face.
Would
Try
you
to figure
touch
out.
the face?
Try to figure out what it is from. Which
Yeah. So as you place your
Yeah.
hand upon this
Stuff.
face, it seems slightly warm. Not insanely warm, just kind of warmer than the air in this chamber, which is reasonably chilly the further
Right.
in you're getting.
So it feels alive, kinda, in my opinion. I think this thing is alive. It's
So this entire brown thing is the statue?
warm.
Bump it on its nose. Give it a knock on
But
that
it is kinda pulsing and it doesn't have a pulse or is obviously breathing. It's just warm. Huh?
Chan, this entire brown thing there, this square thing is the statue.
Yeah.
Will make
Okay.
sense. But yeah. I think this isn't leading anywhere. I mean, unlike the vines, this one seems rather friendly, or at least not hostile.
Maybe it's cursed.
Well, I expect that.
Can I roll an investigation? Or
I think we shouldn't waste our time with that.
23.
23. So, looking around this, it doesn't appear to be just kind of like a natural formation or anything of that. So it seems to have been something that was kind of pushed into this wall or taken in by the wooden trees around it. Looking at the coloration of the trees that make up the walls and this roof and the ceiling, the floor, as they are dying or already dead, they all appear to be this kind of ashy, brownish, very light brownish. This tree appears to be filled with a lot more color, but it does seem like it's fading.
Is the thing sealed off or something?
Is what sealed up.
We'll just walk through. It's got black squares over it.
There's no light over there anymore. You
Oh,
can see
right.
it.
Well, this place is more alive than the other one. If you don't want to talk to the face, we can just keep walking, I guess.
Feel
Yeah.
free to talk to the face.
I really wanted to have talks with the tree face.
It's sleeping. I don't think we should wake it up.
I think it's sleeping.
Yeah, we should go on. Come on, guys. And well, yeah, I would say I'll lead the party onwards.
Okay. Yeah, let's continue further into this chamber.
Yep.
Three shout stop.
Yeah, well, I also go on. And Spit just sort of follows.
Yeah. She actually walks up to the face and is just kind of looking at it very closely. Looking ahead of you. Fuck, that's not what I wanted to do. There appears to be
More fucking wines.
the next part of this chamber just seems to be completely thick with those vines. Whereas if you imagine that door was just one panel, each of those lines is another panel. And it seems to extend even further back than you can kind of get a good sort of chain of from where you are at the moment.
Yeah, great. More wines.
I'm not going next to those vines. Spit, you want to do your special slashy attack again?
There's no response from Spit.
Spit!
What?
Do you want to do your special splashy attack on the vines again?
Another tour guide.
Yeah, but you're getting paid for it, so do as you're told. Unless you don't want to, like, you sort of cannot slash the vines.
By
The
the way,
deal was
are
to
you
keep you alive, not help you explore.
Let's spit do that.
I'm shaking my head and smirking to myself. And then I ask, well, for real, why is she even here?
wanted her to help me be my bodyguard.
So we're actually paying her?
Oh, I am. I'm rich. It's fine.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Well, when I approach these wines, do they seem as thick and aggressive as the last ones?
They seem to resemble the other ones when you first approach them. They're not moving or anything like that. They're just obstructing your path, interlaced with one another.
So
And
what happens
like-
when I grab a wine and try and tear it off?
Well, maybe we can
Uh,
just weasel through again. I mean, you haven't actually even tried the first one.
Because I'm huge.
As you kind of try and tug, it's very tough, but you keep pulling, and as you do, a couple of the other vines react and lash out towards you. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
$13.
13. They do catch you. As they kind of wrap around bits of you, these thorns begin to push themselves out of the vines themselves, dealing 3 points of piercing damage. And you're partially restrained.
Good times.
This is why we don't go down big scary trees.
Alright, well, can I make out if I'll be able to weasel my way through it like I did before?
Make an intelligence check.
Alright.
Just straight intelligence.
There's not a sharpest knife in the drawer. Yeah, 3.
3. You
Yeah.
could totally make that.
Oh, man, it's easy peasy. Right, then I, well, start doing that, I guess.
Alright, Garth begins to pull a couple of vines out of his way, make his way through. Unlike the last time, instead of his hands going flush onto the floor, there's more vines, which he has to kind of maneuver his way through, and begins to, for all intents and purposes, tangle himself in the vines. We're going to need to make a dexterity check.
Alright, dexterity. When I proved dead, if I'm correct. Oh yeah. Well, 1 point. Come on, please. Oh, 20.
20.
Yeah.
And he does. He manages to get through the first set of vines okay, and begins to stand in
More
this kind of
vines.
area. And as he gets a good look around, it seems to be an entire mesh of vines just covering this entire section of the path. However, the ones which you did climb through and a couple of the ones in front of you, throw a couple of thorns out.
Oh, great.
That's going to be a... That misses, but it's kind of go flying off the pathway. A couple of them kind of whiz past your head, Tiffany. But looking around this area, Garth, you do notice that there are a few bones on the floor. A couple of them looking sort of humanoid, and the others elvish.
Okay.
Just
Ah,
various bones and bits of bodies. There's a few like rusty swords by this point, and a few daggers here and there. There's a bow which his string has snapped. It appears that these boys have been here for a very long time.
I regret this.
Told you so.
Oh, well, I Can't stop now. So, wanna follow or just stand here?
I mean, I can, but if I die, it's over. I mean, I move close to where.
Spit's kind of walked up at this point. She's just kind of watching this with a little smile on her face.
Of course.
I just hold out my short sword just in case I need it.
I mean, she has to come through too, or wait
I
wait
slowly
to attack
edge towards the vines where the little opening's been made.
After Garth went through, the vines went taut again, so you'd have to make your own opening. Because he was holding it open for himself.
If I cast, if I just, ignite the vines, will the whole tree set on fire?
You have no idea.
Don't do it.
Can I get free of the vines at least?
What, you want to attack them?
I want to break free. I don't.
Oh yeah, you want to make a strength.
$50, 18. 18.
Yeah, you break those vines off your arm. They just kind of recede back into a couple of more vines come out of walls and kind of lace over the missing parts.